Hi guys, it's Jessi here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I have been looking forward to this stream for quite a while. I'm so excited about it. I don't know if anybody's going to show up because I kind of scheduled it at the last minute, so hopefully we'll have some people watching soon. If not, I'll be talking to myself for a while. I want to talk all about our favorite TV tonight. You guys know that I am a huge TV fan, big TV buff, and a lot of you said the same, that you love talking about your favorite TV shows and your favorite movies and that sort of thing. So I figured, why not have a stream dedicated to that exact thing? We can talk all about our favorite TV shows. We can talk about kind of theories for upcoming seasons of our favorite shows, that sort of thing. New TV, old TV, everything is up for grabs here. We can talk about whatever you guys want. I'm really excited about it. I'm a total TV nerd. I have never really been a big fan of movies. I tend to think that you need longer than just a couple of hours to really get to know the characters and to really kind of fall in love with a character. So I just feel like you need more than 2 hours, and that's why I'm a big fan of TV series. And I just love like dissecting TV shows and thinking about the possibilities, what could happen, coming up with theories, that sort of thing. And so I don't know, I just thought it would be fun to talk about. So I see a couple of you have joined me. Hello, I hope you are all doing really well. I don't really have a plan for this stream. I know that our last live stream got cut short because I was interrupted 500 times by my family. So this time I tucked myself away in my bedroom. So hopefully there won't be too many distractions. We don't have to cut it too short. But to kind of get us started, I thought I would ask a pretty basic question. What are your top 5 TV shows of all time? And that's a tough question. I take this question very seriously, like way more seriously than I should, because it's just TV. It's not that serious. But top 5 TV shows of all time. It's a tough one. And I want you guys to tell me what your favorites are. It can be shows that are currently airing. It can be shows that have long since been over. My number one favorite TV show of all time is Dawson's Creek, which has been over for a really long time now, but I still watch it religiously. Like once a year, I put my DVDs on, or I, stream it on Netflix or whatever, and I watch it and I relive the whole series. It's my number one all-time favorite, will always be my favorite. Lots and lots of shows have come out since that one, but nothing has managed to top my love for that show and the characters on that show. Pacey Witter was my first love. So that's definitely my number one. In terms of the other 4, they kind of go back and forth and things change from year to year. But yeah, Dawson's Creek has always been my number one. Have you guys seen that show? Are you a fan of it? Let me know. In terms of other favorites, Supernatural is right up there with Dawson's Creek. I love that show. I dedicated a lot of years of my life watching that show. Lost is another huge favorite, though I did not fall in love with Lost and just kind of discover it and really fall down that rabbit hole until long after it had aired. It's the beauty of streaming services. I was able to binge watch it and totally fell in love with that. I'm a really big fan of sci-fi. So that's 3. Grey's Anatomy is another one of my all-time favorites. Of course, you guys know that's still on the air. I pretty much grew up watching that show. They're in season, 17? I think now. So 17 years, long time. Longer than, almost as long as my relationship with my husband. So, Grey's Anatomy has been a part of my life for as long as he has. little bit less than, but you know what I'm saying. It's a long time. It's a long relationship to have with a TV show, right? And so what is that? 4 that I've done now? I can't even keep track. Another one is a recent favorite, something I've totally fallen in love with, which is The Handmaid's Tale. I'm really, really loving that show right now. It's just so good, and I definitely want to talk all about this season of The Handmaid's Tale while we're here chit-chatting. So let's look at some of your guys' comments. We don't have a huge audience here tonight. I kind of expected that. Not everyone is a total TV person like I am, and it was kind of last minute, so I didn't expect a huge audience, but that's fine because we can have an intimate little talk. So, oh, you've been waiting with bated breath, Erin. Good. See, you're as excited as I am. I feel like I found my people here. You just started watching Dexter. See, I have not watched that yet. I've gotten recommended that show many, many times. It seems like it's right up my alley. But I haven't watched it yet, so I definitely want to. How did I like Cruel Summer? So really, really liked the first 3 episodes of that show. It really, really dragged me in. The last couple of episodes, I'm kind of getting a little impatient to find out, where is this going? What exactly happened? But I really, really like the format of that show and the way that they show, one day, 3 consecutive years. I think that's really cool. I love storytelling that's a little bit different. That's one of the reasons why I loved Lost so much, because of the flashback scenarios and the way that they kind of tell the story in bits and pieces, and you have to kind of put it together yourself. I really like that. Handmaid's Tale does the same thing, where, they're showing you this person's past at the same time that they're showing you what they're going through currently. And it's just a really cool format that I like a lot. I know a lot of TV shows do that now, but that used to be a pretty unique thing. And I love that type of storytelling. Yes, I have heard that next week's episode of The Handmaid's Tale is the best one of the whole season. Somebody apparently got to view all of the episodes ahead of them releasing. Some news person. I tried not to get myself spoiled too much with The Handmaid's Tale because there's lots of spoilers on the internet about what's going to happen. But supposedly it's the shortest episode of the season. I think it's only supposed to be like 40 minutes long, but it's supposed to be jam-packed full of great stuff. So I'm really excited. Let's see. Shows you like to rewatch: Melrose Place. I never got into Melrose Place. I was a big 90210 fan. I never watched Melrose Place. Schitt's Creek is another one I have not seen. So I definitely feel like I'm going to be introduced to quite a few new things with this live stream. The Handmaid's Tale creeped you out on the first or second episode. Yeah, the thing about The Handmaid's Tale is that it definitely is. It's creepy. It's not for everyone for sure. It's very hard hitting. It's not something that you can really, or at least I couldn't binge watch it. It was just way too intense. I had to constantly take breaks from it. It's very emotional. It really kind of drags those emotions out of you, but it's really phenomenal storytelling, and I'm obsessed with it. Erin, you're a TV series junkie too. See, definitely found my people. Suzanne says, you're a sci-fi fan. Yes. Supernatural, Vampire Diaries, Touched by an Angel, Good Witch, Grimm. Awesome. My husband watched Grimm. I watched some of it. I didn't watch it all, but I did really enjoy the bits that I saw. I'm a big fan of sci-fi too. Have you watched Fringe? I really enjoyed that show because of Joshua Jackson, who I mentioned was my first love. And that's really, really heavy sci-fi. You just started Game of Thrones. That's awesome. I just started Game of Thrones too. So I'm up to season 3. I haven't made it through season 3, episode 1 yet. So I'm really liking that as well. Good TV. You feel the same way about Cruel Summer? It's dragging a little bit just because I feel like they got to give us a little more of what happened in that basement, right? That's what you're thinking too. Like, for me, I definitely feel like Kate and the teacher had to have some sort of relationship, like more than just he snatched her and put her in his basement, right? There was definitely a flirtation and inappropriateness that escalated. And I really want to see how that plays out. Kelly says her top 5 are mostly old: One Tree Hill, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is an awesome show. I love that one too. Roswell, Ally McBeal, and Grey's Anatomy. I've not watched Roswell. I've not watched Ally McBeal, but all the rest, I fully agree with you guys, or with you, Kelly. And you guys, Kelly is my sister, for those of you that don't know. So I'm so excited to see you here, hanging out with me. So much fun. Like when you can binge watch a series. Yeah, it's definitely really hard to wait week to week to week. When The Handmaid's Tale released those first 3 episodes of season 4, I was so excited because I thought that they were going to continue with that. And then I was really disappointed when I realized that, oh no, they're just going to give us those 3 and then they're going to sprinkle them one a week. And we got to be patient. And it's so hard because we've waited so long to see that. Season 3 seemed like it was ages ago. So I'm really excited to see where else that season goes. I think it's only a very short season, though. I think it's only like 8 episodes or 10 episodes. So we're already like halfway through. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is just classic TV. The musical episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is my all-time favorite. I know that that's a controversial topic. Not everybody loved that episode, but I loved it. And I constantly get all of the songs from that episode stuck in my head. Your 10-year-old loves Grimm. That's so cool. You've been wanting to watch Dexter now that you have more time. Yeah, for sure. Didn't they just say that they're coming out with a new series or a new season of Dexter? I don't really know anything about that show other than it's supposed to be amazing. Once Upon a Time is a phenomenal show from the bits that I watched. I did not watch the whole thing. I know that a lot of people said that it sort of went downhill towards the end there, but I've only seen the first 2 or 3 seasons, and I loved what I saw. That's another one of those that just does good storytelling. Reign's another one that I watched just a few seasons. I never finished it, but I did like that one as well. Z Nation, okay. Haven't seen that one. You can't pick just 5. That's kind of how I feel too. I could literally sit here for probably 4.5 hours just talking about all my favorites. We could go in chronological order even. I'm obsessed. I've been watching Lost with my 13-year-old son. He and I have been watching it together, and he's just not passionate about it the way that I am, and the way that I kind of hoped. He doesn't really understand my kind of excitement around it. I'm constantly saying, are you sure you don't want to watch another episode? Because he's content to just watch one a day. He's not chomping at the bit to find out what happens next like I was. So he definitely did not inherit my fangirly ways. I guess is the only way I can really put it. He didn't inherit my same passion for TV, which is unfortunate because I would have loved to share that with someone in my family, but alas. Did Jeanette see her? See, this is what I needed to know. When I first watched that first or second episode, I thought for sure that she was behind the mirror and it was like a two-way mirror. So Kate thought Jeanette saw her, but Jeanette only saw herself. That was my theory instantaneously. But then as they've sort of progressed and it's kind of come out a little bit more, she said that she saw her through the window. So that kind of shot that theory. But definitely seems like they both aren't being completely honest, neither Jeanette or Kate. And I feel like it's going to be a big bombshell when it's revealed. You loved Fringe as well. Yes. Isn't Joshua Jackson just the cutest? I watch everything he is in. Even if it's not something that I'm interested in, I love him enough that I'll watch it. Little Fires Everywhere, I just watched primarily because of Joshua Jackson. And that was really good as well. And I've been watching The Affair primarily because of Joshua Jackson. And that's a steamy show. Oh boy. You totally thought Katie was flirting in this episode, especially when she was looking in the mirror holding the bunny at the end. Yeah. I think there is definitely going to be a whole lot of drama coming from that show. You just caught up on Cruel Summer. Are you loving it, Kelly? Because it definitely seems like it would be right up your alley. It gives me so many Pretty Little Liars vibes, like in that same, it's not the same type of show, but in that same, like, wanting to know what the secrets are, wanting to know what's going to happen next. I love a good thriller. You're not hogging the chat at all. You talk as much as you want. You and I have that in common. We will talk about TV all night. It's fine. You're seeing a lot of series you really liked. Good. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping that we could have this chat and just have it be like all-encompassing, not focus on just one show, because I feel like that would alienate a lot of people if they don't watch that show. But, I mean, we can get into the nitty-gritty and really focus in on one show at a time in a later chat if we want. But for this first one, I just wanted to open it up and talk about anything and everything. And if I find new shows to watch because of this, I'm thrilled about that. Okay, your top 5. Grey's Anatomy, ER, Friends, Vampire Diaries, and The Walking Dead. Only get to watch TV on Thursday night. Okay, so I have seen all of those except for Vampire Diaries. My best friend tells me all the time I need to watch Vampire Diaries. I tried a couple of times and was never able to get into it, but I watched the pilot episode of Lost at least 5 times before I watched past that and continued with it. Sometimes it just takes a few tries to get going, and I'm going to give it another try for you guys. Shadow and Bone. Isn't that new? That's new, right? That's based on that book series. I haven't read the books. I haven't seen the show, but I'm interested. Yeah, Jeanette kept going back into the house. I almost wonder if Jeanette and the teacher didn't have some sort of relationship going. Like, I feel like that's a possibility. That dude's creepy. Whatever it is that he did or didn't do, he's a creep. Waiting forever for the next season of Lucifer. My son loves that show. He tried to convince me to watch that one. So that's another one I have not yet watched, but definitely on my list. I have a very long list. Yeah, you love the back and forth. Yes, for sure. Yeah, it's called The Affair. It is very, very mature. There's a whole heck of a lot of sex scenes in it. Obviously, it being about an affair. But it's more than that. There's also a little bit of a mystery there. And it's really good. Joshua Jackson is incredibly hot in that show. Like, steamy. So good. They had a show, The Lion Game, but ended after 2 seasons. I really liked that. Seems like all shows I start liking get canceled. Oh, isn't that such a bummer when you really start to get into something and then it's just gone and you don't get the opportunity to ever know? That's happened with a few of the shows that I've liked too, and it's so devastating. That's how you felt about Supernatural. I felt so bad because I couldn't get into it. Wow, that surprises me. Seems like that would be right up your alley. Even if you just watch for like the eye candy. Oh, so many cute boys in that show. Good theory about Jeanette and the teacher. Yeah, I think there has to be something going on there. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I could be totally wrong. I tend to always get the answers in my theories completely wrong. But it's still fun to think about and talk about. You wanted to like Lost, but it wasn't your type of show. When I went into Lost, I did not know that it had that like sci-fi mysterious element. I literally thought that it was like a Survivor type show. So when that first started happening, I was totally thrown off by it and confused for a really long time. It can be very confusing to follow. But, oh, it's so good. So good if you like that type of TV. It's not for everyone, for sure. And I know that a lot of people didn't like the ending of that show, which persuades a lot of people who haven't seen it to not watch it. The thing that really helped me was going into that show knowing I probably wasn't going to like the ending, which I actually did really like the ending. I was totally fine with the ending, though I wasn't the biggest fan of the final season in general. And like I said, being able to binge it really helped. I feel like the ending of Lost, people got so upset because they dedicated so many hours of their lives and so many years watching the show, and then they didn't get the answers they were expecting, or they didn't get all the answers they were hoping for. Plus, there was a lot of press talking all about how they were definitely going to get all the answers, and this was definitely how it was going to go. And it was just marketed in a way that led to a lot of disappointment. So that's a bummer. I think that a lot more people would probably go back and watch that show, especially in the times that we're in where everybody's stuck at home and there's nothing else to do. But I think that knowing that everybody hates the ending of that show keeps people from watching it, and it's such a shame. Oh, I highly recommend it. You watch it again. I'm on my 3rd or 4th rewatch, and I'm still catching things that I missed the first 3 times, which is crazy. Yeah, took you a few tries with Supernatural. Castiel is probably my favorite character. I love that character so much, and I love the progression, the story arc that he goes through. This is so much fun, you guys. Look at me. I'm smiling so much that my face hurts. I've been so looking forward to this. Yeah. So Kelly mentioned One Tree Hill. How many of you guys have seen that show? That's one of my favorites, too. My favorite storyline from that show has got to be the Psycho Derek thing. I loved that so much and was genuinely shocked when it turned out that he wasn't her brother. Like, it never even occurred to me that that was a possibility. And watching that whole thing play out was so good. And Kelly, I'm sure you could remind me what season that was, because you're definitely better versed in that show than I am. But that storyline was so good. I liked it so much. And I still, to this day, love a good teen drama. Like Gossip Girl, although I never finished Gossip Girl. I couldn't get into that. I've tried a couple times. I liked the first season, and then after that, I kind of fell off. But that type of show is my favorite. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was season 4. Such good TV. And the cool thing about that show is that my husband really liked it as well. So he and I were able to watch it together. We don't always have the same taste in TV. He tends to like a lot more like action and that sort of thing, whereas I tend not to. So we don't always see eye to eye, but when we do and we can watch something together, it just makes it so much more fun. Lost is on Hulu. It seems like all of the shows that I'm really into and am enjoying watching right now are on Hulu. There's not really anything on Netflix that I'm watching that I can think of. So if you guys have good recommendations for TV shows on Netflix, let me know. Your husband and you got really into Wayward Pines and we're so bummed it didn't continue. Yeah, that's so disappointing. You really like teen dramas too. So Secret Life of the American Teenager, I have tried to watch on 3 separate occasions, and I always kind of lose interest after like the first couple seasons. So I've never seen it all the way through. But I did like the bits that I did watch. I just haven't made it all the way through the end. And I don't think I've seen Friday Night Lights. I have to think that's about football, right? I would think. You love One Tree Hill too. See, awesome. This is so fun. You're definitely not the only one. I don't care how old I get. I'm always going to love teen dramas. Something about that sort of TV just takes me back to the kind of thing that I watched when I was a teenager. They were simpler times. So good. Yes, it's about football. Okay, good. You on Netflix, I've seen the first season all the way through and I really, really liked it. Like a lot. I binged it. I couldn't get into the second season though. So you'll have to let me know if it's worth trying again. And I have not watched Stranger Things, but I hear amazingly good things about that one as well. So I'll have to check that out. You guys are going to definitely have me expanding my horizons. I tend to be the type of person who will watch something I've already watched, something that I'm comfortable with, something that I already know the ending to. As someone with anxiety, I find that sometimes it can really be anxiety-inducing to watch something new that I don't know what's going to happen, which I know sounds so silly, but I just find comfort in watching something that I know how it's going to end. But I trust you guys. I'm definitely going to try those out. You're welcome. So yeah, that I think everybody has kind of talked a little bit about their top 5, which is good. I have been loving Wednesdays, waking up and watching all of the TV streaming on Hulu because it seems like all of my shows like drop on Wednesday mornings. So I sit down and I watch The Handmaid's Tale. I watch Cruel Summer. This Is Us also. I sit down and watch, which, I mean, I don't even have to ask. You guys love This Is Us, right? Who doesn't? So that I sit down and watch. And then I'm also watching Game of Thrones. I watch a ton of YouTube also, of course. Like, I constantly have the TV on. And I'm not always sitting and dedicating a lot of time to just watching. A lot of times it's like background noise while I'm doing dishes or folding laundry or whatever. But I always sit down and actually watch Handmaid's Tale, Cruel Summer, Grey's Anatomy, and This Is Us on Wednesdays. And it's like my favorite. I dedicate Wednesday mornings every week to watching it. So it's a whole lot of fun. You never saw This Is Us. Oh, Erin, you have to watch it immediately. I highly recommend it. It is so good. The amount of emotion that show manages to drag out of me every week, I am blown away by. Seriously, it's really, really good. It's on Hulu as well. Oh, good. Well, hopefully you get a ton of really good suggestions for something to watch. Okay, Handmaid's Tale. Let's get into it. What's going on with the commander that helped June? So Commander Lawrence. That dude has something going on. I don't know whose side he's on. I don't know what he's going to do next, and I love that about him. I love how unpredictable his character is. I'm really excited to see what happens moving forward. He's one of my favorite characters. I like him a lot. Now, Nick, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like him. I don't trust him. I want him to go away. I feel like he manipulates June, and I feel like there's all of this like romance there. I don't like it. I know that's like a not very popular opinion, at least if we're going by a lot of the forums and stuff that I read. I'm heavy into going into Reddit and reading all the conversations that happen about all my favorite shows. I don't really get involved in the threads and actually post anything. I just read them, and it seems like everybody is all about Nick and how handsome he is and how amazing he is and how he's going to save June. I don't buy it. I think he's dirty. I think he's going to end up being a not so good guy. That's just my opinion. I feel like he's definitely shady. Okay. Good Girls, 911, This Is Us, A Million Little Things, and Married at First Sight. That's a great list. I haven't seen a lot of those. So I'm definitely going to have to write those down and check them out. The only one I've seen there is This Is Us. I haven't seen A Million Little Things, but I have heard good things about that one. It is a tearjerker, and there are definitely sad elements to it, but it's more about a feeling of connection and family, and it's just really good. I think it explores a lot of dysfunctional families and a lot of connections and things that I haven't really seen in other shows. It definitely it's worth a watch, I think. Okay, you think Nick is shady too. I'm glad it's not just me. Hey Jess, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed that video. What are some of your favorite TV shows? We're talking all about TV today. Typically on Mondays when I go live, I tend to chat about a little bit of everything, but every time we would sit down to chit-chat on Mondays, it seemed like we were always coming back to TV, and I never wanted to discuss a bunch of TV shows and risk spoiling anything for anyone, and that's why I decided to do this like dedicated TV chat where we all know there might be spoilers discussed. We can talk about our theories and whatnot. And if you guys like this, I could totally see myself doing this weekly in addition to my just general chat, because like I said, I could talk about TV all day. You binged and loved it, but never went back. How far did you get? Because I feel like that could be like where you stopped might be the issue of why you never went back. Excuse me, I'm drinking coffee, which is a terrible idea. I'll probably be up all night, but I was just really craving it and I did not have any decaf. So if we're up all night, then I guess I'll have plenty of time to binge watch some more TV. Going back to The Handmaid's Tale, I don't think she's dead. I really don't. I feel like if she were, they would have shown her. I think she's going to be probably gone for an episode or two and we're not going to know what happened, and then she's going to pop up. At least that's my hope, because she's one of my favorites. And we just lost so many good characters with the train. So fingers crossed really hoping Janine's good to go. Moira at the end of that episode, climbing out of that truck and having that be her, I literally screamed at my TV. I was so excited about that. I cannot wait to see what happens next week. Like I said, everybody says that next week's episode is going to be like the best of the season. I have a feeling we're going to Canada. I cannot wait for that. You don't watch a ton of TV, maybe an episode or two of one of the shows I'm watching, but I watch a ton of YouTube during the day while I'm working. There's just something about YouTube. I don't know what it is. I think because of just like the dynamic of YouTube and being able to go back to your favorite channels and watch the people that you've come to know. I love YouTube too. I watch way more YouTube than I should. Being a stay-at-home mom who has older children, I find myself with a lot of extra time to watch a whole lot of TV. Yeah. I definitely watch way too much YouTube. What kind of YouTube videos do you like to watch? What are your favorites? I don't think it's an illusion. I think it's definitely her. I'm excited to see what happens. You didn't even make it to... Oh, yeah. Kelly, you got to go back. It gets so much better even. The first and second seasons are by far the best. I definitely recommend you go back. Maybe even start from the beginning and watch because, oh, it's so good. In fact, I was so immediately hooked on This Is Us when it first aired. I watched the episode when it aired and was immediately hooked. And that was the first time I think that had ever happened to me, where all it took was one episode to have me just completely checked in and ready to be a fan of that show for the long haul. And the good thing about This Is Us is they know exactly where the story's going. They already know they're ending it after season 6. They know how it's going to end. So I really can't imagine I'm going to be disappointed. It's a really thought out show. Obviously, they had to make some changes because of COVID restrictions and everything, and they kind of wrote that into the show, which is not my favorite. I tend to watch TV to escape reality, and so a few of these shows that have kind of written COVID-19 into it has been a little bit rough. Grey's Anatomy is the show I'm thinking of the most. Like, it makes sense that they wrote that into the show, being a medical drama, but it's almost like too real and too political, and I wish they would get away from that and get back to the root of what that show is, because it's drawn on long enough, and I'm ready to see what's next on that show too. Yeah, Kelly, you can definitely binge. It's all the way up through season 5, I think. They're airing right now, so lots and lots of episodes to watch. Yeah, that's exactly how I do it. Check YouTube first, catch up on all of my favorites that I watch, and then switch to the TV. Just heard Prodigal Son is not renewed. Manifest. I've heard about Manifest. Is that the one that's supposed to be a lot like Lost? Or am I wrong? Because if it is, I definitely want to watch that too. Oh, bye, Suzanne. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. So much fun. Yeah, Grey's Anatomy, definitely. I think we can all agree that it's been an amazing run for Grey's Anatomy. I'm ready to see it end before they completely destroy it. I know that they just signed on for an 18th season, so we are going to get one more season. But after that, I think it should be over and done. They should just wrap it up, quit while it's good before they totally destroy it, because there have been some storylines on Grey's that I have not loved. It's definitely gone downhill. It's not the same show that it was when it first started. There's been a couple of different times where I've almost quit watching, and the only thing that kind of keeps me going is that I've watched it so long. So I'm ready, I think, for it to end. I'm hoping that the ending does it justice and I'm not left disappointed, because I can probably only think of a couple of television show finales that I really truly enjoyed and liked. It seems like whenever a TV show ends, they get it wrong, like all the time. Maybe that's just me, but I haven't liked very many season finales, or not season finales, series finales. So I'm hoping that Grey's Anatomy does it right. Okay, so it is about a plane crash, but it's different. I'll have to check into that one. Prodigal Son is great too. See, I've not even heard of that one, so I'll have to look into that. Can you guys think of any series finales that you really truly enjoyed and felt were really good and wrapped the whole thing up nicely? I can only think of a couple. I really liked the series finale of Boy Meets World. I thought that was done really well. That's another one of my all-time favorite shows, by the way. Let me think of what else. Like I said, I did like the way that Lost ended, but I understand why people were upset about that and turned off by that ending. You liked the ending of One Tree Hill, Kelly? I really didn't. I think that if they had ended One Tree Hill at the end of this season where Lucas and Peyton left, and that had been the ending with like them driving away and the way they wrapped everything up at the end of that season, if it had ended there, I would have been totally happy with that ending. The actual ending, it was okay, but it wasn't my favorite. 6 Feet Under had a great ending. See, I haven't seen that one, but if it's over and it's available for streaming, I could definitely watch that. I love finding a new show that all of the seasons and episodes have already aired and it's already over, that I can binge watch it from start to finish. That might be the next one I watch. Oh, it's a crime drama. I love crime dramas too. Definitely going to add that one to my list as well. I definitely get the nostalgia and the happy ending thing, but don't you agree though that that ending would have been better if they had ended at that moment? You know what I'm talking about. It was season, I don't even know how many seasons there were. Were there 10? The season prior, when Lucas and Peyton left and that was the end of it, that would have been the perfect ending, I think. I did really like that last season of One Tree Hill though. So, you know, you get what you get, I guess. But I think that it definitely could have ended differently and better. Not that it was a bad ending, just that it wasn't like the perfect ending. Yeah, Erin, I think you and I are the same. We're definitely the same in that regard. Trying to think if there were any other really good endings. And I can't think of any. It seems like they always get it wrong. Like, I haven't actually watched all of How I Met Your Mother, but I know that that ending totally ruined the show for a lot of people. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like other endings. Thinking of like Roseanne, the way they ended that and how it was all they kind of try to take back the last season and that isn't really what happened. Like, I didn't like that. I don't know. Dan getting kidnapped. Yeah, that was really good. I liked that. That was after that. A lot of that last season was really good. But I don't know. I feel like they could have ended it better. I'm telling you, it's just with TV, Kelly. I don't have a great memory with a lot of things, but I've watched so many times I've seen the endings that they stick in my mind. Another ending I really loved was Dawson's Creek, but that was the ending I wanted, with Joey and Pacey together in the end. I know there were a lot of people really upset about that, but I thought that was amazing. But it was very divisive. You also watched Switched at Birth. I've watched some of that. Again, that's another one that I never finished now that I think about it. I think we just get disappointed it's over. I think that could definitely play a part. But there's definitely been some endings that people were just outright pissed about. Wasn't there a whole big hullabaloo about how terrible the Game of Thrones ending was? I think. I could be wrong because I haven't watched it all. But I think that people were pretty upset about that too. Just seems like they always get it wrong. I don't know. Not that I could write it any better. Trying to think if there were any other endings that I can really think of that I loved. And I really don't think so. I think that was it. Breaking Bad. Did you watch that? I have not watched that. The Ozarks gives me that kind of vibe, and I like them both. Took me watching the Ozarks first episode 2 to 3 times to get into it. Yeah, no, I haven't seen either of those. How could you be Team Dawson? I hear people say that, and it just makes me scratch my head. Like, how? He was so self-absorbed and arrogant and just not a likable character at all, in my opinion. Like, of that entire show, he was the worst character for me. It should have been Pacey's Pond, I'm telling you, just like Dad used to say. That's what my dad used to say they should have named that show. I never liked Dawson as a character in general, but especially not with Joey. I feel like he didn't deserve her. And honestly, I feel like Joey didn't really deserve Pacey. I feel like Pacey could have done way better than Joey. She wasn't the greatest character, in my opinion, either. But I don't know how anybody would ever pick Dawson over Pacey. I just don't understand it. You didn't even like Joey at first. Yeah, she's not very likable either, sometimes. You guys, I have been talking passionately about TV shows for 48 minutes. This is who I am. I'm such a nerd. Oh, you've never watched Dawson's Creek? You have to watch it. I would love to hear your opinion on it. I think it's definitely streaming somewhere, but I don't know where. It was on Netflix. They took it off. Might be Hulu that it's on now. I'll have to get back with you and let you know. But it's definitely available to stream somewhere, Amazon Prime or somewhere. So worth it. If you said you like those teen dramas, it's like quintessential 90s teen drama. So good. Yeah, 48 minutes. Can you believe it? Love that. I was so looking forward to this, and I'm so excited that it worked out. I was afraid that nobody was going to show up, and I was just going to be talking to myself for an hour about TV, which, let's be honest, it wouldn't have been as much fun, but I could totally do it. But I'm glad that we have a nice little, just a handful of us to chit-chat about our favorites. Dawson's Creek came out right when I was a teenager, so I feel like I kind of grew up with those characters. I don't know. I constantly go back to it. That's one that I watch all the time. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is another one from like my younger days that I watch all the time. 90210 I rewatch over and over again. It's just like all those shows that I grew up with. I just restarted Felicity because I was watching that right around that same time. Something about that genre of TV that I just love. Your boyfriend says, you just got done watching TV. Now you're going to watch someone talk about watching TV. That's funny. It's who we are. We're TV people. And like I said, I do like movies too, but just not nearly as much as TV. Definitely have my favorite movies. We could probably do a whole nother chat on that, but it's just not the same. You were a teen in the mid to late 90s, so you get into them. Yeah, definitely. I was born in 84, so that tells you. Hi, Amy. So yeah, I think that's everything I'm watching. It sounds like a lot now that I think about it. I don't know why I'm surprised, but like actually laying it all out there, all of the shows I've got going right now. Oh, I'm also rewatching The Walking Dead, so I've got a lot going on. But I watch like 2 or 3 episodes of something and then I switch. And then there's some things that I watch only with like Austin. Austin and I watch Lost together. If he's not here, I can't watch Lost without him, so I got to watch something else. My husband and I were watching Alias together. So that's another thing that I'm kind of in the middle of watching. So that's a really good one too. If you guys like that sort of like action spy type things, that was really good. You hated it when I watched it when we were kids, really? But now you love it. It is so good. So such like soapy teen drama there. And that actually has a little twist of sci-fi at the end too. I don't know. Have you watched all of Felicity, Kelly? That little bit at the end where they do the time travel, like that was out of left field. But so good. You mostly watch several others doing their budgets and planning. Yeah, those are my favorite videos to watch too. So informative and like calming, seeing everyone like lay out their plans and their numbers and everything. It's awesome. It's like therapy. Oh, The Americans. I keep hearing people tell me that. Every time I mention Felicity, somebody says, oh, you got to watch The Americans. Definitely will add that to my list too. Is that streaming somewhere, do you know? And the husband and wife in The Americans are husband and wife in real life. Oh, that's a cool little twist. Hi, how are you? So we are rewatching Shameless. Haven't seen the last season. I rewatched Friday Night Lights when I'm alone. Haven't seen the end of Felicity, but I'm close. Oh, I hope I didn't spoil it for you. But I mean, it says right in the title that there's going to be spoilers, so I can't feel too bad about it. I've never watched Shameless. I think that I watched a couple episodes of it because Kelsey really liked Shameless and she recommended it, but I didn't get into it. Kelsey and I, that's my cousin for those of you that don't know. Kelsey and I watched Glee together. Have you guys seen Glee? Are you big fans of that show? Oh, okay. Americans is about Russian spies in America in the early 80s. That is one of my top 5 for sure. Can't believe I forgot that. Oh, now I definitely want to watch it. Because we seem to have the same taste in TV. So if you liked it, I'm sure I will like it too. And I just love that actress. She's so good. So, oh, you liked Roseanne? I loved that show so much when it aired. I related so much to that family. Loved it. Okay, it's on Prime Video. Good. I'm definitely going to watch it. That's going to be another one that I rewatch. I'm going to have to go back and watch this live stream and see how many times I said I'm going to have to watch that next. So that I can write everything down and figure out exactly what all I still have to watch, because apparently it's a lot. King of Queens. I really like that one as well. Sitcoms seem to be your jam, huh? I really like sitcoms too. Nothing like a 30-minute laugh fest to get you through a rough week. I mean, I'm all about drama. I really like dramas, but there's something about a sitcom. I love Friends, of course. Everybody loves Friends. King of Queens is a really good one. Anything that can make you laugh. Sometimes you just need to laugh. Oh, good. You're going to watch. Awesome. Yay. We'll have to discuss that in an upcoming TV stream. So let me know, you guys, do you want to do the TV chats every week or once a month, or how often do you want to get together and chit chat about TV? We can talk about movies and music and other things as well if you want, but I just need to know how often you want to do it. So excited that you're going to watch. I hope you love it. It definitely has some teen angst and some kind of like eye-rolling moments, especially watching it now when you think about, you know, the fact that it was the 90s and that sort of thing, but it's so good. At the heart of it, it's really, really good. Two Broke Girls. I haven't heard of that. Is that reality TV? Because I'm not really into reality TV. I don't watch a whole lot of that. So if it is, it would make sense why I haven't heard of it. One time a month is great. Gives it time to catch up. Okay, yeah, let's maybe do like, I know this is the second Thursday of the month, right? Yeah, maybe we can do like the second Thursday of every month. Get together and chat about TV. I would love to do that. I used to love watching Hot in Cleveland. I signed up for Hulu mostly for that and was mad when they took it off there. Oh, isn't that frustrating? I hate the way they just arbitrarily pull stuff off of streaming. It's no fun at all. Power and Queen of the South. I haven't heard of those either. You are enlightening me to all kinds of new things. Oh, Two Broke Girls was a sitcom. Okay, yeah, I haven't heard of that one. All right, you guys. So we're going to plan, I guess, for one time a month getting together, chit-chatting about TV with spoilers. Doesn't mean we can't talk about TV in my stream every week on Mondays, but we'll just have to make sure we don't do any spoilers in those chats. But if that changes, I'll definitely update you guys in the Facebook group. So if you haven't joined my Facebook group, it's the Jwhackers Fans and Friends Facebook group. Highly recommend it up there. It's the quickest and easiest way to get in touch with me in real time. I'm always in there chatting in the comments and that sort of thing. And that's the best place to get like updates on my channel. I also will post any updates on my YouTube community tab. So if you miss it there, you can find it there. But yeah, I definitely want to do this regularly because this has been so much fun. Two Broke Girls is comedy. It used to be on around 7 or so, but now it's on at 11:30 at night. Oh my gosh, that's way past my bedtime. Sounds great. This way we can get shows under our belt to go crazy about. You can tell my mind's going faster than my typing. So exciting. Sounds good. Okay, good. Criminal Minds. Yes, I really, really love Criminal Minds. I haven't watched it all, but the episodes I've watched, I've loved. And Dr. Spencer Reid is my favorite too. I always love the quirky characters. Yes, such a good one. So excited. Yay! I'm so happy that we were able to do this and it all worked out. So let's definitely, stay in touch on the Facebook group. We can always discuss our favorite TV in there as well. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, though, because we're right at the hour mark. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I had so much fun, and I hope that you guys did too. We definitely seem like we got a lot of great new shows to watch, so I can't wait to get back with you guys and see how you're liking them. Love you, Kelly. Thanks so much for hanging out. This was so fun. It was almost as good as having you here. I miss you so much. And thank you all, like I said, so much for hanging out with me tonight. It was the best. I'll see you guys again real soon. Bye, friends.